Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. It is another day and another mold. I have had this mold for several weeks and I've been dying to try it. So that's what we're going to do today. This is like a large jewelry box and it's got like this pillow effect in here. If you can see that. So this is the jar box. I don't know, it's huge. And then this is the lid, which will go on top. It's almost like a Tiffany box. And then it also comes with a bow that you would glue onto the lid like that. So because it reminds me of a Tiffany box, I'm going to use a Tiffany blue. And I might even add in a pearl. Even though this is already pearl, I might just see if I can get a little more pearl color in there. And then because I just don't like to do a color, you know I have to do something extra. I have these little tiny rhinestones. So I might put them in all these little tiny cross connections. I don't know what you would call them. So that will take a little bit of gluing and effort, but that's okay. So I'm not sure if I want to use this color, which is like a pearly color, or I have these blue rhinestones. So I will make that decision once it's poured and cured. So this one held about 14 ounces total between all three pieces. So I'm going to get that mixed up. There's always something on my molds. I'm gonna get that mixed up and I'm gonna be using my Let's Resin 24-hour cure resin on this one. So let's get that started. I got the resin mixed. Now when I use these large mixing cups, I do use my drill bit just because it's easier. I will go in and scrape the sides after I get my colors put in there. A lot of people ask where I get my mixing cups. These are very flexible, the large ones, silicone, and these came from Let's Resin. So I'm going to just get, they're linked below. Everything I use is always linked below. I know sometimes, oops, people can't find the link or the description box. I'm getting a lot of comments that they can't find the description box. So you have to be on a device, iPad or a tablet or your phone. You can't be on a television when you're trying to get to the description page. And you actually have to press, if you look underneath the video, there's going to be a little sentence you'll see written and then it's going to say more. So if you click on the more button, it's going to bring you to another screen and then you have to click on the word more again and that's the description. So if you click on the word more 2 times, you will get the full description page. And that's where all my links are for everything that I use. So I'm just going to mix in some blue first before I think about adding the white. Let me just get this hooked back up. Now, if you are going to use something like this, keep it below the surface. Don't pull it out or it's just going to go everywhere. It's going to make a mess. So I'm just going to get this mixed in really well. You have a longer working time than I do with the fast cure, so I'm just going to take that off because it's too tall for where the camera is. Grab a stick and kind of see the opacity. So it's still a little bit transparent, and I do not want it transparent at all. Now, this mica powder came out of the kit that I just got. I showed you on the last video, I think. But it was a kit from Unicorn Art, and this one is called Baby Blue. And it came in a kit of 12 colors, and that will be linked below as well. So just keep mixing your color in until you're happy with it, whether you want it transparent or opaque, and this is still needing some. 14 ounces is quite a lot of resin, so it does take a lot of coloring, but just add a little bit at a time so you're not wasting it. Now, if I made this into a pigment paste, it would probably go farther than it would if I keep dumping in the powder. I do have a video on how to make your own pigment paste, and I will try to remember to link it in case you're wondering how to do that. It's so simple. Just make sure you have empty jars on hand to put them into. We're getting there. Maybe I'll put in a little, I did make a blue pigment paste. This is the pigment paste I made on my video. I don't know if you heard me talking or not when that was going, but I made my own pigment paste in a video to show you guys how to do it, and this is it. It's fairly close to this color. I'm just gonna get it mixed up, and I think I'll put a little bit in this because it's so much more pigmented than adding a whole bunch of powder. So I'm just going to get this scraped in here somehow. And see if that helps the opacity quicker. And then I'll lighten it up with the white that I took out. And I really should start making some more pigment paste for different colors. Let's see how that looks. That's pretty good. I think I'm going to add just a little more paste. You don't need a whole lot of paste, like I said. This should be way plenty enough. Just a tiny little scoop out of the jar. Once I'm done using the drill bit, then I will go in and scrape all my sides. That's perfect. Now I'm going to add a little bit of white to it and see how that works. Let me grab my spoon. And we might not even notice it, but this has a really pretty sparkling effect. So maybe it'll add that shimmer I'm looking for. That's really pretty. That's really pretty. Okay, so I'm just gonna get this off, drip it out for a minute or so and lay it aside. Then I will scrape my sides and we will get this poured in. I'm gonna clean up my station first. All cleaned up, the sides have been scraped, and I think I'm just going to mist a little bit of alcohol down in there. So let's start with the bow. And I think I'm gonna bling up the bow a little bit too once it's cured with these rhinestones somehow. Now this one is pretty deep. I should have used my deeper pour resin, so I'm anxious to see if this is gonna flash cure on me. I hope not. I didn't realize it until just now as I'm pouring it that it's more than that inch. That new resin from Let's Resin with the pump, that one you could pour an inch. So that's probably the one I should have used for this. We're gonna find out. I'm not gonna pour it full because I do want to go through with a popsicle stick and just squish it down to try to get any bubbles out that's going in there, which I'm going to do right now. Just kind of go through it. There's a lot of places for bubbles to hide up under these lips. See one right there. And the more crevices you have on a mold, the more chance of bubbles you have. So be very careful when you're pouring molds like this. All those little pillowy things are potentials for bubbles. I might put this in my curing machine, but I'm not going to do it right away. I'm going to wait till it's done being so liquid. I did mix up a little extra just because I'd like to be safe than sorry. It will shrink a little bit, so make sure you can dome it a little. Okay, that's just barely coming up over the edge. Man, that lid takes way more than you ever expect it to. I hardly have anything left. I'm just gonna use my little tiny torch and get the bubbles off, even though these are the bottoms. And that's it for now. Just a quick note for all of you new people to resin. If you haven't seen before how to clean your silicone cups like this really quickly in like 2 minutes, I have a video linked in my description to show you how I can do that and how you can do that really, so you don't have to let it cure. Also, I wanted to mention what I did with this extra because I have so many freebies already. I have been using my extras to fill up this hand mold, and this is going to take a lot of extras, but I'm almost to the top. So what I decided I'm going to do with this when it's done, if you watch the actual video of me unmolding this here, I don't know, in a couple weeks probably, once it's full and I unmold it, if you watch it and you decide you like it for whatever reason and you want it, I'm going to give this away. So we're going to do a kind of a random pull out of the hat name, and if you want it, you'd have to comment. I'll put your name in a randomizer. But I'm going to unmold this in a couple weeks once it's full, and every time I fill this up, I'm just going to give it away. These are ready to unmold. I ended up putting them in the curing machine. Look at this, no flash cure. It's perfect. As soon as I was able to move them, I threw them in the curing machine for about 3 hours. And these are ready to unmold. And I don't know how hard they are going to get to be out, but I'm just happy that they are not flash cured, especially this bow, because it's at least 1.5 inches. Let me look. I'm kind of curious. It's 1.75 inches, and it did not flash cure. That's pretty impressive. So let's get this out and hope that it looks like I think it's going to look when it's all put together. Try to keep my molds. Sorry, I know you can't see me, but I kind of have to use a little force on this one. I just want my molds to go back into place as soon as possible. Okay, ready for the bow? Oh, it's so cute. It's nice and shiny. There's a couple bubbles, but heck, you can barely tell. I think I'll put some rhinestones across there. I'm not sure. I'm going to play it by ear, but let's get it all out and see what we're working with here. Curious to see how that pillow effect kept. There's a couple bubbles at the bottom, but that's all right. No big deal there. Oh, it came out great. I do not see any bubbles. I don't see any bubbles in there. Oh my gosh, I love that. So this is gonna sit like this. We're gonna glue that down. Okay, now let's get this one out. Hopefully, this is just as good as the rest of it. I'm so excited. This one's a little bit warm. I hope I don't bend it. Get this back. All right, okay, let's see. Little bent. Let me just get this lid on. Okay, it fits good. Here's the outside. I don't see any bubbles, just this one on the lid, or two on the lid. But you know what? We can go around the edge of this lid with rhinestones. That would cover that up. Bottom's good. The inside is good. Oh, that is fantastic. Ready to put some rhinestones on here and bling this thing up. It's gonna be so beautiful. I'm gonna use these ones. These are like an opalescent one. And actually these came from Joanne fabric, and what these are the diamond paint. I don't know what you call that. Diamond painting? They're the diamond painting. That's what I'm gonna call it. When you put those little rhinestones all over a picture, that's what these are. These are like a couple dollars. You can get so many different colors. I have a bunch of colors, but this is the one that I think will look the best. Now the glue I use all the time for rhinestones is Liquid Fusion. I'll link it below. I can only find it on Amazon. I can't find it anywhere else. That is not what I need. I do put it in this little bottle just because it's a precision tip. Even though my precision tip isn't working, I have to take the whole thing off now. So I do sometimes get it clogged up. So what I'm gonna do is take my little wax pencil and my little tray, so you can shake the tray when you need to move them, and you just pick up your little rhinestones with the wax pencil and place them where you want. And this is gonna take me a while, so I will fast forward. All I'm gonna do, at every intersection where these cross, I'm gonna stick a stone. I have to get my glue to come down first. I'm just gonna put a whole bunch of dots. Not a whole bunch. I mean, it doesn't dry that fast, but I wanna be able to know what I'm doing. So I'll do one row at a time. So I put the 3 dots down. I'm just gonna pick up my rhinestone, and it will dry clear, and just place it right into the glue. And then these will dry in a couple hours, probably faster than that. I never really paid attention. And then we're gonna have a beautiful sparkly top. And then I'm going to do the same thing around this entire jar. And then I will do it somehow on this bow so it all goes together. So be patient with me because this is gonna take me a while. Well, it's gonna take me a while for you. Probably a minute and I'll be done. I'll show you a little bit, but that's it. I will then fast forward. got this all done. Wasn't too bad, maybe 10, 15 minutes. Isn't that pretty? I don't know. I don't think the camera ever picks up anything as good as it should be. So I'm gonna just set this down, let it dry, and then I'm going to work on these. This one is all done. I just realized why I like this pattern so much, and if I can find it, I'll throw a picture in this video. But I've made cakes that look like this. That's why I like it, little pillowy cake looking things. Well, cake looking things, cakes. So let's get this top on. It looks so pretty, you guys. It is so pretty. Although some are going to be covered with the bow, but who cares? Okay, let me work on the bow. Are you guys ready to see this bow? Oh my gosh, this is the most beautiful box I've ever made. Look at this. I have a feeling I will be getting a lot of Christmas orders on this thing in so many colors. I did both. I was going to do one side, but then I'm like, nope, I'm not going to be lazy. I'm going to do both sides so it's not a one-sided box. I think it's just gorgeous. I'm so glad I have this mold. Let me move this over here. So, these are pretty firm already. I'm just trying to see. I'm going to use my E6000 glue and I'm going to place this on top. Then I'm not going to touch it until it is completely dry tomorrow. So let me grab that. This is E6000. And it holds really tightly, so I'm going to need a bunch on the bottom of this. I probably should wait, but I'm too excited to wait. All right, I'm going to put it on. Just trying to figure out how to hold it. So I'm going to put a big dollop on there and a big dollop on there, and this thing will not move. Maybe one in the middle. It's way overdoing it though, but that's okay. Then get it right in the center. I'm not gonna touch it. See you tomorrow. It's dry, it's ready to touch. You can lift it up by the lid. What do you think about this? This is my favorite project so far, probably because of all the bling. All these stones are tight, you could touch them. I love that glue, it's really, really good. I'm gonna get you all some final pictures. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will try to find the link to this box if you want to get the mold. And I hope you guys all have a blessed day. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bye.